When I think about MCP wisdom, the first person I think about is Bob Ross. Yeah, that's right, the Bob Ross. Not a lot of people know this, but besides being a painter, he was an excellent tech visionary. And one of the things that he always told his audiences was, if you're going to make MCP tools, you should really start with a GraphQL schema. He could not have been more right, and I'll show you how. So I have here a very simple schema. You can see here in the top level query document, I have several fields, trees, colors, clouds, and of course mistakes, which returns the type happy accident, because we don't have mistakes, we just have happy accidents. I just wanted to give you a sense of what we were dealing with as we go into the Explorer and take a look at the stub data being returned. I have a big old query here in the center, the operation being dispatched, and it's literally asking for all the data that we have just to show you what's being returned by this Bob Ross GraphQL instance. So you can see we have all the colors, right? We have all the types of trees, all the happy accidents, of course, and the clouds. Let's go ahead and make some MCP magic. I'm going to use what I think is a really exciting new capability that Apollo shipped, the Apollo MCP Server skill. So I'm just prompting my LLM here. I want to add an instance of Apollo MCP Server to my app, telling it explicitly to use this new skill, Apollo MCP Server. While this is going, I'll fast forward a little bit, and I'm going to put the command to install Apollo skills right here on the screen. Now I'm going to have to go ahead and take a closer look at this config later on to make sure it matches what I expect, but it's at least good for getting things off the ground, so I've less guesswork to do. And you can see here, it's giving me a pretty good config boilerplate right out of the box. And of course, in order to run this, I do need to install the Apollo MCP server. There's a command that you can do. It's really easy. It's just a one-liner you copy to download and install it. And before I get too far, I wanted to just show a quick diagram of how and why this works. We have this GraphQL server that has some data that I'm able to get from it. And if you look here, we have Apollo MCP server here. What it's able to do is to interact via GraphQL operations with your GraphQL API, which of course queries from data sources. If you go ahead and follow the arrow back to the left side of the diagram, you can see tool generation, right? And you can generate tools through a few different things. Schema introspection, persistent query manifests, or what we're going to be doing here, which is operation files. That is to say, just regular old GraphQL queries, mutations, what have you. And those can just be as simple as defining a GraphQL document, as you're about to see. And that's why this is so exciting, why it's just, to me, such a no-brainer for building an AI architecture on top of what you already have. Okay, just talked about GraphQL operations as being the basis for tool creation. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at some GraphQL documents that I have written. They're really simple, each one corresponding to a field on the root query. So in this case, we have get clouds, and I'm querying for all the information about clouds in our GraphQL server. I also have get colors. Again, same thing. Get trees, same deal. Querying for all the information there. And finally, get mistakes. And let's just take a quicker look at the MCP config. First, we need to, of course, feed it our GraphQL server. Right now I have it running locally. We have to have a schema file within reach. In this case, it's hosted on my local machine. And I'm also passing it a path to the GraphQL operations. And those operations are what are going to define our tools in our MCP. Okay, so now's the payoff. Just point of order, I needed to use absolute paths in order to get standard IO working locally. So I'm going to go ahead and run MCP Jam Inspector here to show you the Bob Ross inspired MCP tools in action. First, I'm just going to go ahead and enable this MCP server in the inspector. And I'm going to go ahead down to tools just to show you these tools being loaded into the interface. You can get colors, right? You can see all our favorite colors here. Phthalo blue, shout out. And then go to the chat interface, and I'll go ahead and prompt my bot here. And first thing, I'll just list the tools just to make sure everything's loaded. And I can see, okay, get colors, get trees, get clouds, get mistakes. That's all there. All right, super. Along with some built-in tools that Apollo MCP server exposes. And then I'll write in a prompt, can you show me all of my happy accidents? And hopefully with any luck, this will show me all of our mistakes / happy accidents. And look, here we go. And I'll give it another prompt here. What color would I use to paint a beautiful lake? There you go. Okay, that should pick up some of the colors I have there. So LLM is thinking, and hey, look at that. It's recommending phthalo blue and titanium white, and then giving a few suggestions as to how I'd paint. So there you have it. A Bob Ross inspired MCP server powered by GraphQL. Wherever you are on your GraphQL or MCP journey, Just remember, there are no mistakes, just happy accidents. So build with Apollo MCP Server today.